Please be advised that Little Miss Recap contains adult language.
Don't pull a ring off a dead person and give it to me. I don't want it. Mm-mm.
Hi everyone, welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where we poop in the woods.
Yes, we do. We have no choice but to do that.
Woods.
I've heard rumor that they in fact do shit in the woods.
Okay, real talk for 1 second.
Yes.
My name's Amy Archer, I'm your host, and I'm joined by the lovely Amanda. Thank you, Amanda, for being here.
Thank you, Amy.
Let's talk, have we ever pooped in the woods?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever pooped in the woods.
I have.
Peed many times. Puked in the woods, yes.
I've camped enough in my day that I have pooped in the woods. For senior week, my best friends and I, 18 of us, rented an island in the middle of Lake George, New York.
Wow.
So you know how everybody goes down the shore for senior week?
Yeah. Oh,
where we're like, no, we're not.
Excuse me.
Down to the shore.
No, this generation has called it, they've renamed it Sweek. It's not senior week anymore. They have taken it and made it Sweek. Anyway, go on.
Stop trying to make Sweek happen. Because I will not allow Sweek to happen. Anyway, 18 of us were on an island in the middle of the lake for a week because we didn't want to go down the shore and all get busted for underage drinking because that's what happens. Okay. And so we didn't do that.
So were you underage drinking on the island?
We sure as hell were. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, you are really a better kid than I was.
Oh, no. I have a lot of funny stories about how all the alcohol was procured for that week. There was leveraging older siblings. There was going into West Philadelphia into dodgy bars. It was
in West Philadelphia, born and raised. Okay, you cannot. I defy you to not go into that in your mind when you hear West Philadelphia.
You cannot. Yes.
So we have a couple things to talk about today. One is, this is a little cross promotion for my other podcast, which is this podcast, but we're covering And Just Like That.
Yes.
I'm beginning to think at war with Michael Patrick King.
Well, you should be, because he's an ass.
I just have this beef with him, and I realized that every episode is me yelling about him and Leslie like trying to calm me down. So
what I've truly come to realize is Carrie's not a particularly likable person.
I don't know. I think he's in love with that character.
Oh, I think he is too. I think
yes.
I think that Carrie Bradshaw is the female embodiment of everything he thinks a woman should be as a bitchy gay man.
Did he write the entire first series?
I don't know if he did. I mean, I know it's all based on Candace Bushnell's.
Right.
I almost said Bushkills. Not the same thing. Bushnell's.
Not the same as Bushkill.
Her books, but I don't know if he wrote the whole thing.
Okay.
We have the whole internet available to us.
Yeah, let me see. He may be best known for his work on HBO Sex and the City. Created by Darren Star, King wrote all the season premieres and finales.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Because I feel like this dude, and this sometimes happens in the world of gay men, I think he thinks he knows women.
Yes.
And that drives me insane.
Yeah, because he can't write. He doesn't write great women.
No. So here's something. So I was railing against him on my other episode for something.
Yes.
So I decided today, as I'm listening to the Writer's Room podcast for last week's episode, because I didn't yet.
Okay.
I noticed that he invites people on and then he cuts them off and talks over them.
This does not shock me.
And
I have not listened to the Writer's Room at all, but this does not shock me in the least. I think he thinks he knows better than everybody.
He'll be like, okay, so I'm going to reenact this a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to play writer number 1.
Okay.
Okay. Say your name is Amanda. Okay.
That's a reach, but I think I can do it. Okay.
So this episode, this was written by Amanda. Amanda, why don't you tell us what was in your head? Like, why'd you have Aiden come in those tighty whities? Tell us what was in your head there.
Well, what I really wanted to do was call back to the earlier episodes when
those earlier episodes when I did blah 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 blah. That's what he does. That's what he does.
Fuck off.
So the writer will start to explain, and I want to hear the explanation, and then he just goes right in with something he did or it was his idea.
Ugh, if only podcasting could have an audible for rolling eyes, y'all would have just heard mine roll right the hell out of my head.
So in my examination of am I at war with Michael Patrick King,
I
decided to Google him because I don't even know what the man looks like.
Okay.
He is Martin Short adjacent. I'll say that.
Okay. He is.
Guess where he was born, that motherfucker?
Scranton.
Scranton, Pennsylvania. What are the fucking odds of this? So
Son
now
of
I
a
need to know. I
bitch.
bet you he's a West Sider. I bet you he's a West Sider.
I have to admit, I don't know enough about Scranton to understand what that means, but I have a sense it's not good.
I'm a North Scranton girl, and we
Okay.
did not get along with the West Siders.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I feel about, Pennsylvania side of Philly versus Jersey.
There
There's
you
two
go.
different worlds.
There you
Two
go.
different
Would you
worlds.
say West Philadelphia?
Born and raised. Yes. Well, I would say West Philadelphia because that is actually a neighborhood of Philadelphia. So I will go with that. That's where
Okay,
all
so
the
anyway,
universities are.
so bottom line, Michael Patrick King, I don't
He's
know
out
what's
for
going to
you.
happen. Stay tuned for my never-ending battle with him.
Okay.
Now,
I appreciate
we are
it.
going to transition, and I will mark this in the show notes so people don't have to hear us go on and get right to the show if they want.
Sure.
But we're going to transition into Ailment Corner.
Ailment Corner, we are here for it. Who would like to be the first sharer?
Okay, why don't you share since your injury is more egregious than my situation?
I had a significant injury yesterday, and by significant I mean I broke my toe. And
Which
it's not
toe, which foot?
right foot,
Mm-hmm.
second toe in.
Oh.
Yeah,
an
usually it's
important
the
guy for
pinky toe.
balance.
It is
Yeah.
an important guy for balance. I've
Mhm.
broken my baby toes a couple times, like,
Mhm.
What's that
Stubbing
word?
them.
Stubbing. Thank you. I'm like, what's the word
Mhm.
before you hurt your foot? Stubbing your toes. So I've done that. And yesterday we were at the pool, and it has like some tile on the bottom. And there was just a split second where I walked past it and I slipped a little bit and I stubbed it really hard on the bottom of the pool. And I thought I scraped it. And so I like lift my leg up. Thank you, water, for making that possible. And I was like, this doesn't feel as scratched as it feels like.
Thank
it
you, water,
is.
for the zero gravity. Is
Yes,
that
thank you, water. Thank you. Thank you for helping me float. And after about 5 minutes, Todd and I are just sitting there and I'm like, I think I broke my toe. And by last night it was deep purple and
Ooh.
yeah, it hurts. And it's taped to its buddy now.
I was
There's
going to
nothing you
say,
can
do you
do.
have to do anything for it?
There's nothing you can do. One time when I broke my pinky toe, my dad's a physician, so I called him and asked him, like, should I actually do something about this? He's like,
Oh my
unless
God.
it looks misshapen,
Right.
there's nothing
Can I
you can
get
do.
your dad on a text chain with me? I need a physician in my life.
It can be useful. It can also not be
yeah.
useful at times, but there are times where it's useful. So yeah, I have a nice big purple toe, and
Okay, I have a big
thankfully,
question for you.
yes,
Did you cry?
I did not cry.
Okay,
I did
Amy
yell.
Archer would have cried. I cry when I get hurt.
I yelled "fuck" repeatedly, however, which was
Were there
great for all
kids
of the
around?
small children around. Yes, there were small children around. We were at a community pool, so yes, small children. So funny thing, my mother hates the F word.
Yeah, I don't know many mothers who are fond of it, of our mother's generation.
Yeah,
the
she's not a
boomers,
fan.
Yeah.
But she has a couple of allowed instances when you can use the F word with impunity. One of which is when you stub your toe in that really hurty way. So I posted on Facebook last night that I broke my toe. My mother emails me this morning about something else and then says broken toe with just a question mark. And so I tell her, and she said, did you say fuck because you know it's allowed in this circumstance? I said, yes. I said it many times and very loudly.
I don't know what is more impressive in that little story is that A, your mom's giving you permission to say fuck.
Yeah.
Or B,
as a
that you
50-year-old
only
woman,
communicate with your mother via email.
My mother doesn't text. My mother doesn't have a smartphone. She doesn't text.
Oh, okay.
So we email or we talk.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So my ailment began Friday night.
Going back to Friday.
Let me take you back to Friday night. I get up in the middle of the night and I am walking sideways, bang, bang, bamming into door frames and stuff to go to the bathroom, right? Now, if you know me during allergy season, this is a normal occurrence. Oh, Amy's off balance again because her sinuses are acting up.
Right.
But this was the worst I've ever had. I could not get out of bed on Saturday.
Oh my God.
I was nauseous. I could not look down. I don't know how I got through. I recorded Hey Bunky at Mary Bean for 2 hours. I don't know how I got through it.
You sounded great. I mean, you talked about being dizzy, but you sounded fine.
Yeah, I was so dizzy. So right after I hung up with her, I said to Timmy, like, I think I need to go to like a ready care situation. Right. And I do not like going to doctors.
Yeah, no, those are terrible. Yeah.
So I went. It was a lovely experience.
Good.
The woman said to me, I couldn't even walk into the place. Like they had to help me like I was a moron.
Wow. So did you drive yourself or did Timmy drive you?
Timmy drove me.
Oh, okay, good.
And he walked me like up to the door and then I got in there. And I told him to go. I'm like, just go. Because, those situations, it could be 5 hours.
Yep.
So I get in there and she's like, oh, double ear infection, sinus infection. I was like, oh, okay.
That'll do it.
Yeah. She's like, oh, we don't normally see adults with ear infections. I'm like, have you met me?
Special. Todd just had one recently himself. So it's not just you.
I've had chronic ear problems my entire life. I had tubes in before they were a thing. Mary Payne and I were saying she had tubes in as well. And from all the scar tissue, that's why I have 30% hearing loss. That's why I need subtitles and
gotcha.
I have a hearing issue.
Things I learned about you.
So bottom line is, I was like an old lady. I couldn't do anything. And the next day it wasn't better.
Ooh.
Like, because the Augmentin, she gave me Augmentin and it did not clear up. Like, today was finally the first day that I could walk straight.
Oh God, that's so terrifying.
It would have been okay if it wasn't for the constant nausea. I was like nauseated all day. I was like,
that's a horrible feeling. Yeah. So your constant ear problems are like my constant tonsil problems. I understand.
There you go. So that's been,
Ailment
Corner. So join us.
I will report back on my toe next week. I'll give everyone a color report.
I'm glad your toe's okay. Just quick aside, my grandmother once told me that she broke her foot while carrying an infant.
Oh, good gravy.
My Uncle Bobby. She's like, oh, I was carrying Uncle Bobby and I stepped funny and I broke my foot, but I didn't go down and I managed to hang on to him. And I'm like, okay, did you go to the hospital? She's like, nah, I just let it heal.
Nice.
I mean, that generation, they were just...
They were battle axes. They would do whatever they needed to do.
Exactly. All right. It's 11 minutes in. Let's get into it. Today, we are here to talk about... Let me get ugly Michael Patrick King off my screen.
Boo.
Today, we're here to talk about Yellowjackets Season 1, Episode 4, Bear Down.
Yes. Which every time someone says bear down, I just think of childbirth.
Yeah, I don't have... I mean... Is it ever said in a positive context?
I don't think it is. I don't think there's ever anything good that's bearing down.
You're either shitting in the woods or you're in a fuck ton of pain.
Right. It's not good.
All right. So we'll do the wilderness first and then we'll do current day. Let me see how I have. Yeah. Okay. Because the last scene is current day. So we'll just stick to the order.
Perfect.
So we are in the wilderness and Natalie has a dream that on the plane she sees a vision of her dad. So we don't know if she really saw the vision of her dad.
Right.
Or if she's dreaming that she saw the vision of her dad.
I feel like she's dreaming it. I feel like she didn't actually see it. Yeah.
I think so too. It would be interesting if she really did see it because,
given what we know happens with the plane.
Exactly. So his head is half blown off. Oh, I want to put trigger warning up front. We are going to be talking about suicide here, like a lot.
Yes, and gun violence and all sorts of things.
Abuse, all of that stuff. So, skip the summary part if you don't want to hear that. Okay. So his head is like half blown off and he says something like, we're almost there. It's been waiting for us.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. She wakes up in a sweat and she sees Lottie sitting up in a creepy position. Now,
yes,
like Sammy, who later does something even creepier, if you wake up and the person you are sharing a room with is sitting straight up, staring at nothing, they go back to the store too.
They get returned. These are not healthy people to be spending time with. I feel like people might think we're judgmental for all of the people we'll return to the store, but we're just protecting ourselves.
Yes.
We're just taking care of ourselves.
Oh, I love you so much. Okay, so Nat tells her, look, don't worry about Cabin Daddy. Like, we buried him. He's gone.
Cabin Daddy.
And Lottie says, isn't that what they call him on Reddit? I think that's what they call him on Reddit. I think
that's what they call it too, but I just like Cabin Daddy.
So Lottie says, I think bad things happened here. Okay, again, not helpful.
No, like she dialed. I forgot how much she dialed up the creepy early on.
Yeah.
When they got to the cabin.
Yeah. She's scary. I don't like her.
She is.
So now Misty is trying to help Ben poop by the tree.
Yes.
And she's telling him to bear down and she's like talking to him and he's all pissed off. He's like, shut up. You're not helping. Leave me alone. She starts singing Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue something. And he's like, Misty, you're the worst. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly, I don't like anyone talking to me when I'm going to the bathroom, period. But if I'm trying to shit in the woods with half a leg, I'm sure I have to imagine somehow there were some sort of narcotics on this flight.
That's what I'm
Because
thinking.
she had pain medication, and if that's the case, he's got constipation.
Mhm.
And I'm guessing there's not enough fiber in his diet right now. I'm just going out on a limb. So yeah, I don't envy him that.
Here's my question though. Why
Yeah.
he's holding on to her with one hand, he's got the other hand around the tree. Why couldn't he just hold on to the tree with both hands?
I don't know.
And she
I
could have gave
have
him some privacy here.
right. I have held myself off of a building and leaned out and pooped and peed. So this is how you do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
hardcore.
Are you like Tom Cruise doing your own stunts over there?
I do my own work, you know.
And that was just at the pool.
Yeah, exactly. I just broke my foot at the pool and I pooped in the woods. Everything everyone wanted to learn about me.
So, Travis has gun fever. Now, are you familiar with the term gun fever from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I have never watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is insane given that I, in fact, live in Philadelphia.
Yes.
No, I've never watched it.
Oh, God. The Gang Gets Gun Fever is one of my favorite episodes. And I hate guns. You know this.
Yes.
So, of course, it's, a commentary on gun fever.
Sure.
So, Travis has gun fever, and Coach Ben has to take it from him. And he says they need to teach one of them how to shoot. So, he essentially holds some kind of tryouts. Okay.
Yes.
And they have to shoot the gun with, they have to pull the trigger with the quarter bouncing on the barrel, and the quarter can't move.
Yeah.
Which is real hard to do. You got to be a steady shot for that.
Yes, you do. And you have to be strong because there's going to be a kickback.
Yes. Oh, I know all about this because, never mind.
I did riflery at summer camp. Apparently, summer camp is where I just,
I didn't want
a lot of experiences happened to me.
I didn't want to get into this, but Timmy and I went hunting with Timmy once.
Oh, good God.
He took a shot at something and it was so close to me and he didn't tell me that he was taking a shot, and it almost deafened me in one ear and almost punched me in the face. So I never went again. Anyway.
That sounds smart.
Yeah, you don't take me hunting.
Okay, we won't do that. We'll sit by a fire and drink cocktails instead.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So Nat fails and Travis trolls her. So she goes again, and guess what? She does it perfectly.
Yes, she does.
Now Shauna.
That's why we know Natalie was really losing it at the cult, because she couldn't shoot at all.
Yes, and we know she's a perfect shot.
Yep.
So Shauna's off doing the Amy Archer, writing in her journal in an angry mood, just how much I hate these bitches, when Javi approaches. And she gives him a sheet of paper and she tells him writing in her journal is her way of making sense of things and there's no wrong way to do it. And he seems to really appreciate this. Now, we know he takes those nice blank sheets of paper and makes real creepy fucking drawings with them.
Right, which means he needs to be returned as well. Where's Shauna getting all of her journals? Even if she was at the end of a journal, she might have brought a blank one because she seems to be a very prolific journaler. So I could see if you're towards the end, you're going for a week.
Yes.
She has 5 or 6 of them. Where are they coming from?
Well, some of them she may have written as soon as she got back.
True. She might have.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, memorialized her experience.
Because I'd be like, guess what happened?
And it's also possible that once she realized she's going to be there, maybe she used old journals and wrote on the, theoretically, when you have a journal, you don't generally write on both sides. Except we see her writing on both sides.
Yeah, no, I always wrote on both sides.
Okay, I don't know.
Unless I'm writing with the Sharpie, and then you get the bleed through, so you
can't do that.
Yeah. All right, so they have a second round of shooting practice, and Coach says they have a ton of ammo because this cabin daddy, was clearly a prepper. So they have no fears of running out of ammo.
But even so, even if he had a ton, they're like, oh, we have no fear, but we know they're there for 19 months. They could be thinking, we have no fear of running out. We'll be out of here in a couple weeks.
True. It's all relative. Yeah. What does he mean by bunch?
You're not, your ton changes depending on how long you think you're going to be there.
Agreed. So Travis does really well, and Nat kind of trolls him a little bit and says, good job, Flex. And he flips out when he hears this and points the gun at her.
Yeah. Oh.
And Coach Ben has to be like, nope, that's not allowed.
Nope, we're not doing that.
Now it's Nat's turn. She kicks ass again. Coach Ben, so Natalie and Travis win this competition. And Coach Ben tells them, we might be out here longer than we think. So you're going to need to work as a team together. And Travis is just a total dick bag.
Yeah. He has no time for her at this point.
Nope. We have a short scene of the girls foraging for mushrooms and Lottie sees the symbol. and she's transfixed by it.
Is this the first time we've noticed somebody seeing the symbol? We've seen it.
Yes.
But it's the first time a character has seen it.
And she doesn't say anything to anybody. She just
I'd be like, Amy, what's on that tree?
What is this shit?
What is that thing on that tree? Yes. And I hope we get rescued because I don't want to poop in the woods again.
Exactly. Yeah. So they find a plane.
Yeah.
And Laura Lee turns it on and almost kills Jackie with the propellers.
Which always calls back the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes. Oh, I used to love Harrison Ford.
You should go see the new one. It was a ton of fun.
I want to go see it. I really like him. I loved him in Shrinking. Did you see him in Shrinking?
No, I need to watch that. That's on our list as well.
That's such a great show.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Him as Han Solo rocked my world.
Oh God, he's sexy as all get out as Han Solo. Just the swagger of him all.
You need to watch him in Shrinking because even at 80, I'd probably throw him a bang.
Oh yeah, I would too. He's got swagger.
Okay. All right. So Jackie heroically shoves Van out of the way to kind of even the score. And then Lottie says it didn't want him to leave. So Lottie's whole role is just standing there saying creepy shit.
Yeah, again.
All episode.
And why isn't anyone looking at her going, the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, we need to take you back to Kmart or James Way.
Right? James Way. Oh shit, James Way.
So on their hunt, Travis reveals to Nat that he hates the nickname of Flex because some idiot told everyone at school when he had back surgery that he actually had a rib removed to suck his own dick. And I have never been more seen as Gen X because this was totally stuff that we used to do in our school. Somebody had a rib removed to suck their own dick every year.
This is so urban legend bullshit. Yes. And God, teens and middle schoolers are just the absolute goddamn worst. And
they're the absolute worst.
It just made me sad for him.
Yeah.
I feel like Travis just has a really sad life. I don't feel like Travis has ever had a good life.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even though he is objectively handsome.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking kid. Not fake old Travis, but young Travis is.
I know. So then he has to dig up his father. That's why they're
here.
Do. Which, I don't know if you're a Yellowstone watcher, but so Rip and Beth, they're like these characters that have this epic love story.
Okay.
Rip went and dug up his mother's grave to pull off her engagement ring to give it to Beth, and she's been dead a long time.
I don't want dead ring. I'm fine if you when your mother passed, you saved her ring and kept it in your drawer until give it to me. That's lovely. Don't pull a ring off a dead person and give it to me. I don't want it.
To be fair, though, this dad's only freshly dead.
This is true. I mean, this is days. This is not years. So this is still fine. And I completely get why that's the thing Travis is just hyper fixated on. Because it's the only thing he can bring back.
Right. He wants to give it to Javi.
Yeah.
So digging up a corpse takes a certain stomach.
Javi won't need it.
Won't
need it.
Sorry. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
And he's all puking and shit. So Nat steps in and she does it for him. She even has to cut the finger off and take the ring.
I can't deal with people throwing up on TV. I can't deal with people throwing up in general.
Yeah. The sound of it makes me immediately join in.
Yeah, I'm a sympathetic vomiter.
Then they go to the plane to have a smoke, and Travis confides in Nat that his dad was a shit dad who didn't even like them. And Natalie says, it doesn't matter how shitty they are, it still fucks you up when they're gone.
It does.
Okay. So now we have a flashback, and I did this all as one chunk. Okay. We have a flashback of Natalie's father. Okay.
I'm going to take places I don't want to live for 1,000, Alex, also known as Natalie's home.
Okay, here's another show I'm going to ask you. Did you see Maid?
No. But I know that's good too.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah. I used to show it in my classes, and my students went nuts over it because it was so good.
Okay.
So this show reminded me this scene kind of reminded me of that show. So Dad's calling her whore and slapping the mom around because Natalie has brought Kevin home.
Right.
So Kevin is home. They're hanging out in the room. They're doing nothing wrong. She's painting his nails black. Everything's fine.
They're listening to music. They're being kids.
Dad comes in screaming, "Why are you a whore?" Slapping the mom around. He has the mom on the ground. He's kicking her. Nat grabs the shotgun and comes up behind him and threatens to shoot him. He taunts her that she cried when she shot a turkey, and she takes a shot at him, but the safety's on.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip. Little Miss Recap pro tip.
Yes.
You're going to shoot at somebody, you make sure that safety's off, because
you're going to have no time to deal with this.
You're not going to have to, like, oh my God, I couldn't believe she pulled the trigger. I could not believe it.
I know.
Like, you got to make sure you take that shot and you don't miss, period.
But at the same time, her father is so freaking horrible.
Oh,
God.
he's awful.
God.
So dad taunts her some more, shows her how to take the safety off. He's like, get the fucking safety on. On, off, on, off, on, off. And you could just see the rage in her, but like also fear.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those people that is so, he could do anything at any moment. So unpredictable.
Nothing about that scene would have shocked me if he had shot her and the mother.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that didn't happen because obviously we wouldn't have this story, but like that, it had that feeling.
Yes. So he screams that she's more useless than her mother. Natalie screams, "You're the fucking useless one." As he's walking out of the trailer, he turns around to come back in, trips, and shoots himself right in the head and kills himself.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Mom runs out and is sobbing and grabbing onto him and upset. Okay, so put a pin in that.
Mm-hmm.
In the wilderness still, Natalie kills a stag. So we see her aiming, firing, killing the stag, interspliced with the scene from her past.
Look at you with the hunting knowledge to go, it was a stag. You knew that.
Oh, I did know it was a stag.
Yeah. That. Yeah, I'm impressed.
So at the cabin, Jackie is trying to make sure that Van knows that she saved her.
Yes. I don't think Jackie's ever done a nice thing in her life without making sure the person knows she did that thing.
She's like, we're even now, right? Like, this is Travis and Natalie come back with the stag, and Coach says, okay, now we have to bleed it out. Who wants to try? You have to slit it across the throat. Misty's raising her hand in the background. Oh, me. She's little Amy Archer in the first row of competitive, comparative literature 101. Me. And the teacher looks right past you.
Right, because we're done with Amy answering all the questions.
Anyone else?
Little Amanda Lipnack was that person too.
But I wasn't that person in like in other words, I always wanted to give my opinion. So I was only that way in literature classes.
Okay.
But I could not answer factual questions. Like, I wasn't that way in math and science. I was in the back of the room. Like,
those things I didn't want to talk about, but I wanted to talk about history and social studies. So,
but if you needed an opinion, I mean, just call me. So, Shauna says, "I'll try it," and very slowly and methodically slits the deer's throat.
The enforcer is born.
Yep. That night they're eating, and Travis gives Javi the ring from their dad, and he and Nat exchange a smile. Coach gets up to go in the cabin. Misty's walking out of the cabin. She kicks his crutch.
Jesus Christ.
And he falls flat on his face. And she's like, "Oh my God, can I help you? Can I help you?" And that's kind of all we have in the wilderness.
She is so diabolical. The more I'm watching the season, watching her is just proof of how freaking crazy she is.
She is fucking crazy. And you're right. Like, I don't know. I'm so enamored with current day Misty that like seeing her in the past, I'm like, wow, she really is an evil one.
She's an asshole. She's terrible. She's absolutely terrible.
Okay, so this is a good example of Misty's terrible and evil, but she doesn't need to be returned because she's not broken. She's not defective.
No, she's not possessed. She's not seeing things.
Right. It's only when people are possessed or they're like, there's a Venn diagram and there's some occult in there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. If there's something creepy, not just mean, but creepy. Misty's not creepy. She's evil, but she's not creepy.
Correct.
Lottie, creepy. Baby Sammy, creepy.
Yes. Oh, Sam dials it up in this episode.
Yes, he does.
So now we have current day Misty calling Nat to check on her regarding Travis. And, she's coming from the point of view of this was a suicide.
Yeah.
And Natalie's in complete denial of this. And Misty says the coroner ruled it a suicide. And Natalie's like, no, it was a murder. And Misty goes, do people usually write notes when they're about to be murdered? Or is that more of a suicide thing?
It's a really good point. This citizen detective stuff, man, she knows what she's doing. Nothing's getting past her.
Yep. Misty wants to help Nat prove this is a murder or whatever. She just says, okay, like, I'll help you figure out the mystery. Like, I'm here for this.
The Scooby gang is coming together.
Now we see Nat heading to her mom's trailer, and mom is a hoarder on oxygen. Did we get this? And she's still in love with their dead abusive husband.
Of course she is. You know who the mom reminded me of?
Oh, no, who?
Demons got her.
Oh, demons got her.
The demons got her. The demons got her. For anyone, it's a Love After Lockup thing.
Love After Lockup. Who was it?
Christiana's mom. John and Christiana.
John and Christiana. Yep. Yes. Shout out to Maddie and Jake.
Yes.
So adult Nat finds a mixtape from Kevin that they had back in the day. And she takes it with her. And later we see her and Kevin having dinner. They're in a very nice place. She's dressed up. He's kind of dressed up. They're talking about how Nat broke into Travis's house. And she tells Kevin, like, she knows that he killed himself. So we're like, what? That's not what you told Misty, but she's up to something.
Yes, she is.
They're talking about, Misty's outside on the patio at the same restaurant with one of her patients. Just totally stalking.
I love that she just takes an old person out. She's like, we're going to have espresso martinis. Come with me, girl.
Yep. And she spies Jessica Roberts at the same place and tries to tell Nat, but Nat's not answering her phone. So Nat and Kevin now come out and they spot Misty and they confront her. Misty tells Natalie, Jessica Roberts has been watching you. And Nat's like, well, aren't you watching me too? Which is a good point.
Yeah.
So Misty goes to the bar. She confronts Jessica Roberts and she's like, you should be very fucking afraid of me. Pretty much. Like, I know I don't look like much, but I will murder you straight up. I will
fuck you up big time. You don't mess with Juliette Lewis.
No.
I don't care what role she's playing. You do not mess with her.
No, this was Misty that said that. But
yes. Oh, Misty that said that. Oh, yeah. But you also don't fuck with Misty.
You also don't fuck with Juliette Lewis. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because Natural Born Killers is forever in my mind. She's always Mallory. She's going to kill somebody. Yes.
Yes, she will.
So Nat and Kevin finish their dinner. Nat gives him the mixtape. And Kevin admits like he was totally in love with her.
Duh.
And she starts to cry. And she says she can't stop thinking about Travis and how if he drank or if he did something, she'd never be able to forgive herself. And he walks right into this trap.
Yes, he
does.
And
says, oh, well, I'll get you that toxicology report.
I can help you out. I'm a cop.
Now we're at Thaisa's and she's getting ready for a big dinner with Diane Raffleson. And we get a shot of Sammy sleeping in an armoire.
Why is the child in an armoire?
Peeking out.
And he's so dark, and the armoire was so dark, so it's just these white little eyeballs.
I was terrified of this.
Yeah, it's creepy. This child needs to be returned. He's not well.
So I don't know. He even startles Ty. She's like, Jesus, what is that?
Right. And we just saw more of their gorgeous house.
Oh, yes.
Their bedroom is just as gorgeous as the rest of their house.
Jesus. Simone is prepping Ty, and it's very important that she gets this endorsement. So at the event, she's cock-blocked by various men who want to talk about their achievements. And she's drinking like a fish. We learn that she's vegetarian. She doesn't eat meat. And
I was going to say, wonder if that was. Well, I wonder if that was true before they were in the wilderness.
Yeah, we don't know.
But there was never a discussion of. She never has a moment of like, I can't believe I'm having to eat meat. Like, I feel like the vegetarians in my life, if they got to that point that they felt like they had to do that, it would be a conversation.
Yeah. I agree with that. So she keeps seeing animals coming through, and she's
the head of the pig was not great.
No. So she sneaks off, and when she does, she sneaks off to smoke in a different room. And when she does, Diane Raffleson comes in. And they're talking, and Ty's like, I love that kids can see me as a proud lesbian and dream to be different. And this gives me hope and blah, blah, blah. She's saying all the right things. This bitch is like, I'll endorse you if you tell me what happened. No, like, really what happened.
And I love the fact that Thais is like,
no,
just because you're rich doesn't mean you're entitled to everybody's shit.
Yes, that was so great. Great. So, and then she says, oh, this is such a white savior thing. I've done so much for women and for Black women. specifically. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-mm.
Fuck off.
So Ty tells her, go fuck herself. All right. Now we're at adult Shauna. She cannot stop thinking about Adam and his D. She just can't stop thinking about it.
She is dickmatized.
She's
Big time.
Yep.
She is dickmatized.
She hooks up with him again, but now they're doing teenage stuff. She wants
I love
to make
it.
up. I love it. I love it. Timmy just told me before dinner that he ran into one of his old skateboarding buddies.
Mhm.
They are having a reunion. They're getting like the 20 of them together and they're going to go skateboarding downtown.
I love
I'm
this. Make sure his health insurance bill is paid
I
up.
love this, but I'm going to be on standby with an ambulance.
Right, exactly. Please make sure multiple people have my phone number just in case something goes wrong.
Yes, it's going to be something else. You might be the sole host of Little Miss Recap as I am nursing him back to health for 6 months.
We'll make it work. We got it.
So Shauna says she wants to make up for her misspent youth. So they ask a kid to buy them beer.
Oh my God.
And so she's like, the best is she goes, I forgot my ID. And the kid goes, you're not going to get carded, lady.
Because it's not a Wegmans, so she will in fact not get carded.
Correct.
And I loved, he's like, is this a sex thing? She's like, I don't know, it might be. Like, it might be. I don't know what's going to happen yet.
I'm here for adult Shauna. I really enjoy her.
I love her. I'd want to hang out with her. I think she's great.
Yes. So Adam starts asking Shauna, like, why she missed so much of her youth. And she says she got straight A's and married young, but she says nothing about the plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go mini golfing and Shauna trolls him and she's shit talking him. And then she hits the ball into a nearby neighborhood. I guess that's the thing that they used to do. Then they go to jump off a bridge.
As you do.
And Shauna sees Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackie warns her that somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah. Didn't think about that. Yes, somebody will indeed get hurt. Now, here's a question for you. So Shauna says, I got straight A's, I got married really young. All of those things are true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she felt like even without the wilderness, she missed some of her youth? She wasn't partying.
She was partying. She was at that party.
She was at that party, but I get the sense that, like,
she was always in Jackie's shadow.
She was always in Jackie's shadow, and she was always just trying to be a good girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Clearly her grades are important to her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wonder if there's some parts of her that felt like she missed that as well, but the wilderness fucked them all up, so who knows? Maybe.
And is it really realistic to think that he doesn't know who she is?
It feels very strange to me. First of all, she's got a very unusual last name.
Then again, I mean, I could literally count on one hand how many people are from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and I just found out one very famous one is.
That's true.
And I didn't know.
Yeah, but you can still, like, if you had met him, you might be more likely to Google him. If you're starting to have an affair with him, you'd really be likely to go. No, it wouldn't happen because you don't come with the right parts for him. No, but
never.
If you're having an affair with somebody, you might Google them, but she didn't Google him.
No, she didn't.
It took Callie.
He has
realizing
a real
he doesn't exist
name too. Yeah. All right, so they jump off the bridge and then they have sex in his big old blazer.
Mm-hmm.
Misty calls Shauna and tells her Travis is dead, and I don't know why, but this really shakes Shauna.
It does.
It's like weird.
I'll be curious to see how Shauna and Travis's relationship keeps going in the wilderness.
Yeah. There's got to be something there,
right?
So, she walks in the house. Shauna walks in the house where Jeff is sitting, and he goes, "Hey, babe, how was book club?"
We'll get to it when we get to that episode. But the moment he's like, "Wait, there wasn't even a book club," like he's so dumb. How was book club? It was great.
Oh,
great.
So that was it. I mean, this wasn't an amazing episode. I feel like it was really character building for Shauna.
It was, and it got Natalie through a bit to get to finding out about Travis or getting more details about him.
Oh, that's true. We did learn a lot of Natalie's backstory. So
we learned about Natalie's family.
Well, here, let me run this past you. I have a possible theme.
Okay, hit me.
So the possible theme I'm thinking is, are we who we think we are? So
Mm.
Shauna wants to be someone she can't be. She's trying to recapture something.
Yep.
Misty wants to be someone she'll never be in both the wilderness and now.
Yeah.
Jackie wants to be a leader. Thaisa wants to be somebody else. Like, I just feel like everybody's kind of does our internal impression of ourselves match the outside? I don't know.
Well, I think for most people it doesn't.
No.
I
Mm-mm.
think most people actually, I think most people don't even consider it that much, to be honest.
No.
I think a
No.
lot of people just go through life and never consider any of this stuff. Um,
Only when you're doing a Yellowjackets rewatch do
well,
you
it's just Yellowjackets
Well,
rewatch,
and
or
think
you've
about
spent
it
millions of
too.
dollars in therapy. But
Like, we learned who Natalie really is versus who she wants to be to the world, which is like
mhm,
this tough girl.
yeah,
And she learned who Travis really is.
this
You know?
really hurt kid
Mm-hmm.
and this
Yeah.
really sad kid.
What does it have you looking at differently? Like, what did you see differently in this episode? I have something very specific, but I'd like you to go
Mm.
first.
Um, Seeing a lot of the Natalie family stuff, which I mean we saw, but looking at who she became and
Mm-hmm.
how this actually just kind of came to me in this moment, thinking about how happy she was when she got into the cult.
Oh, yeah.
And I think
She
even
like
though she didn't
finally
trust her,
belonged.
she belonged. She was in a really nurturing environment. Clearly,
Mm-hmm.
this woman was never nurtured as a
No,
child. No
no,
one, there was no cuddles in
no.
Natalie's
Mm-mm.
life.
Mm-mm.
And she was nurtured by and nurtured Lisa in a lot of
Yes.
ways. And
Yes.
she got to protect Lisa in ways that she never got protected. So, like, when she takes Lisa back to her house to go get the 14th Gilly,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
never forget. Um,
Are we gonna do an RIP?
well, I don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know what's happening to Gilly.
Oh, okay. Oh, we only say that for the Unabomber.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we only save good moments like that for the Unabomber. I believe I said that. Oh God. I will not be saying good things about the Unabomber tonight. But like, you see all these ways she never got to be a mother. I'm guessing she never got to be in a really long-term, nurturing, romantic relationship. Probably
Yeah.
Travis was the closest she ever got.
Yeah.
It's sad. She
It's
lived a
sad.
really, really freaking sad life.
She's my favorite character.
I know.
She is.
Shauna's mine, but I get
So
why Natalie's yours.
here's what I'm looking at differently. Coach Ben.
Okay.
I feel like he was a leader here.
He
What
was.
happened to him?
He was organizing them for sure.
Yes.
I think two things happened to him. One, he was starving and he refused to eat people.
Oh, that's true.
So he really went down quickly. Two,
Mhm.
well, I have three things. A, he had the trauma of his leg, and I think there's times when he starts to really appreciate what this means for his life.
Yeah. By the way, I did
Um,
see the burial site. Cannot believe that's still a thing. But go
yep,
on.
yep, yep. Coach
Mhm.
Ben's like, or
Mhm.
Coach, whatever her last name was, like.
Mhm.
Um, but then the third thing is these girls start getting their own power.
Yes.
And they really just kind of, even without doing it officially, they overpower him.
Yeah. Yep.
They're in control.
But
I mean,
you have to admit in this episode, he took charge.
he was a grown up here. He
Yes.
showed them how, like, he figured out someone's got to hunt. He showed them how to do it. He talked them through it. He made sure the right people went out there. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, he was a grown up there. He had his moments of being a grown up. Um, I kind of wish, like, he could just smack Misty. That would make me really happy. And I
He
don't
slapped
really,
her last episode.
I know, but I really would like him just to,
Do you want him to hit
almost,
her every episode?
I do. I think I need that. I think that will help me a lot, even though as someone who doesn't enjoy violence.
Okay. All right.
So I'm watching this show. I don't enjoy violence, but I love this show. So there's
I
that.
know.
See, make of that what you will.
I know. I watch some of the most violent shows. Like, if you ever watch
Mm-hmm.
The Boys, I don't know if you've ever seen The Boys.
Mm-mm.
Just gratuitous violence, but
Oh God.
it's so good. And I
Yeah,
am
it's these
like,
things that
I
are
hate
well written.
violence.
Right. It's these things that are well written that make you.
Like, I can't even watch, I hate boxing. I cannot watch boxing at all.
Oh.
Nope, 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 nope. Even Rocky films, I have a real hard time with it.
So my dad was a ring doctor for a while.
Really?
Yeah. He was actually on, like, a couple episodes, like, there used to be
Was he in the
USA.
corner like, "Go get him, Rock, Mickey loves ya"?
No, more to the point, he was like, "You've been pummeled to death, you cannot go back out there,
Oh, okay.
because your bell has been rung, you cannot do
So
that."
he was not a,
Not a
like
trainer or
somebody who was
anything.
on the take?
Oh, no,
No,
he was very
okay.
much like the real
Alright,
doctor and,
okay.
all of this.
Alright.
My dad taught me how to box when I was a little kid. I'd be, like,
Mm.
on my knees, or he'd be on his knees and I'd stand up and we would box.
I was like, "Why is he putting you on your
Yeah, no,
knees?"
other way. He would be on his knees, so we'd be about the same height, and I had little boxing gloves and everything. My dad
Mm.
loves boxing, little boxing gloves, and I clocked him underneath the chin once.
Mhm.
I thought until about 5 years ago I had actually knocked him out. He finally admitted to
Oh.
me he
He
faked it.
faked it.
Yes, I was so
Ah.
proud of myself for years that, like, 7-year-old me, like, had got a good, right hook or
Ah.
left hook or a hook of I don't know, I don't know much
Okay.
about boxing.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Anything else about this episode?
I don't think so. It just really kind of feels like a filler episode.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
next one, a lot more happens.
Mhm.
It really starts speeding up towards the end, because this is episode 4, so it gets more action as we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Alright. Everyone, if you haven't already, check out our Facebook group. Look what I got today, Amanda.
They came?
Made little stickers
Yay!
and they say, "I'm a backdoor kind of friend."
I can't wait to put that on shit and
And you
have
know
people
what?
be like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
Let
care."
people think you are an anal lover.
Why not?
Okay.
No sh
In
no
the
shame no shame in that game.
backdoor friends group, which there's a link in the show notes, we do a fun poll almost every Friday. I try, which is, what are you watching this weekend? And
Mhm.
I have to say that's been real helpful to me
It has, it's given
because
me
I'm
good
finding
ideas.
lots of good show ideas.
Yeah.
Hmm. So join Backdoor Friends if you want to get in there. And we also have a Patreon supercast where you're going to be able to hear us covering Sister Wives.
Girl, we're almost here. It's
I
6 days
know.
away.
I have some thoughts about it. So I'm thinking we'll record maybe a little 2-minute teaser and we'll
Okay.
talk about what we're gonna do. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So follow us on Instagram. I'm at Amy Archer Writer. The show is at Little Miss Recap. And Amanda, you are at
Amanda Lipnack.
LIPNACK.
NACK, exactly.
Mhm.
LIP is in Paul, N is in Nancy, ACK.
Very
I've not been
nice.
saying that my whole life.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.